how different things would have been if Uri and other SolarWind components were open source, where, of course, it's not that just because open source, everybody's auditing it, but it does, and code does get audited. Would that make any difference?
So the potential is definitely there that somebody would have caught it, right? So you look at the code lines of, so I'm gonna make that a double-edged sword, right? So on one hand, because it could have been, if it was open source, the potential, it would have been easier for them to inject the exploit into the code. Like they would have just submitted it as part of a build and said, "Hey, look, this is my new code." And they could have brought it in from any country in the world. They could have submitted it from a friendly country. So they could have done that fairly easily. But the process for a lot of open source material is pretty rigorous, especially when you start thinking about like management type kind of tools. People really dig into that. So the odds that somebody would have flagged it and caught it is pretty significant, and it's definitely more than just SolarWinds themselves reviewing it, right? So yeah, so I think it's a double-edged sword. I think it would have been easier to inject, but I think the potential for them to get caught could have been much higher.